We're live, we're live, we're live. What's up, everybody? This is Coach Stokes, Stokeshouse Boxing Academy. You got to stay ready so you ain't worry about getting ready. And we definitely are staying ready by this week's guest. Hey, he's an American boxer, originally from Lodi, California, but lives in Stockton, California now, where he's representing. He's affiliated by the Eastside Boxing Gym, and he's trained by Coach Marco, a.k.a. Chino. Amateur record of 44 wins and 4 losses, which is very, very good, and a professional record of 6-3. All wins have been by KOs. He's very heavy-handed. Currently sponsored by Grant Boxing Management. He has 2 beautiful children, 2 and 4 years old, and currently is in training camp right now for his next fight. It's going to be, which is going to be announced at a later time. But yo, my man from Stockton, California, Giovannie Gonzalez. What's up, Giovannie?
What's up, man? How's it going, man? Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks. Hey, could you let everybody know, man, how a little about yourself, man? Like, where you come from, and how'd you, stumble into boxing, or how did it choose you?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's crazy, man. I have my cousin, Peter Aro. He's a little older than me, but he's a former big standout amateur fighter, former professional fighter. When we were young, he's about 2 years older than me,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be like Thanksgiving because he lived in LA, and we'd be eating or hanging out with the family. And then I remember I was a kid. I was like 6 years old, but I remember. And I see him doing sit-ups, push-ups, doing things like that. I'm just sitting there like, what's wrong with this guy? We're not in PE, man. Like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
I see him running around the park, and then I didn't understand what he was doing at the time. Getting older, I understood he was a boxer, amateur boxer.
Mm.
And I mean, I fell in love with the sport. My dad would watch every big event on pay-per-view possible. Growing up, we watched it. Chavez, De La Hoya, Tyson, every fight like that, we watched it, and I fell in love with the sport. Now, how I actually started boxing, it was kind of like a little secret because I couldn't tell my parents because my parents did not let me box. This one time I went to the flea market with one of my cousins, and we bought I think they were like $10 a pair of gloves.
Mm.
And then I had a backpack, and then I would tell my mom I would go to the local Boys and Girls Club, which I would sometimes, but and then there's a park outside, and then we would just box whoever would want to box, and that's how it started. And then I went to the gym, and I started actually doing it, for real. And then I fell in love with it, and it's a tough sport. But I mean, if a lot of people growing up to this day, they tell me, man, I can't believe you actually went professional, and you're actually good, because I remember you at boxing, whoever at the park, even grown man at the park, and you were like 13, 12 years old, 14 years old, and it's just it's been quite a journey in this sport.
You know what? I want to piggyback off that because you mentioned how tough the sport is, and I get so many people, like young men, that really think that they want to get into it, and you can hit a bag all day, you can pass all day, none of that shit means anything until you get in there and you actually see how you react when you take a punch. Um,
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
so for those young men that are out there that follow me, that watch this, that will be watching this, Giovanni, can you please let them know the lifestyle of a boxer, what it takes, man, the discipline, you can't cheat it, because if you cheat boxing is going to come back and it's going to get you.
Yeah, if you have to train hard in the gym, you cannot. I don't know how many times I've told a lot of kids, you can hit there, you can look good hitting the pads, you can look good hitting the punching bag, you can even look good running, sprinting, whatever the case is. But it's way different once, and it's not even about sparring. If you legitimately want to be even an amateur boxer, can you take the pressure of fighting in front of 10 people, 100 people, 500, whatever the case is? A lot of people fold under that. They can't take that type of pressure, and that I've seen a lot of fighters that are really good that I seen them in the gym sparring. You know, they're good, but and then when you see them fight, they're a whole different fighter because they can't control. They don't have that experience. Fighting in front of people, because it's not the same as fighting sparring and fighting. If that was the case, it'd be so many world champions right now, because
Right.
a lot of people fold under pressure. You know, you have to take the sports serious. You have to, you know, put in the work. You got to put the hours in the gym. You got to go every day. For, you know, even if you're in pain at the gym, or even if you're in pain the next day, that's good, because you're not going to be in pain during the fight, because you know you put in the work.
Yeah.
So if you're doing, if sometimes training camp could not, I want to call it easy, but it could be um not too hard than other training camps. Sometimes it's a good training camp, because you know, sometimes you get injured during training camp, so you have to switch everything up.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you want to push yourself as much as you can. Dieting is a big thing, because a lot of people they don't see what professional fighters, even in amateurs, but I've learned this in professional, how hard it is sometimes to drop that weight.
Yeah.
You know, you miss weight by half a pound, you know, you're losing money, 20%,
Yeah.
15%, whatever the contract states.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I mean, going back to my first loss, for example, I was on cloud nine. I was knocking everybody out. They offered me that fight, I think, like a week and a half before, and I was in shape, but I wasn't in top boxing shape, if that makes any sense. And that would
Yes.
boxing people would understand what I'm saying, but to people out there, I'll try to explain it like you know, if you had called me to go run with you 5-6 miles, I'll run them with you. But if you put me in there in an actual fight, it might be a little bit different, because I'm not sparring, I'm not putting in the work how I should be to be in boxing shape. You
Right.
know, now they called me a week and a half before. They said, okay, the fight's gonna be at 130.
Mm-hmm.
I was at 143, 144, I think. And I said, you know, man, you know, I brushed it off. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I said, I got this. Man, was I wrong? I stopped eating on a Saturday, I think.
Uh-huh.
I didn't eat until Wednesday at 3 p.m.
You just doing liquid?
Liquid, yeah. And I stopped drinking water on Tuesday. No, wait. Wednesday, Tuesday. Yeah, I think it was Tuesday. I had a little bit of water. But it was just liquid, running, sauna, liquid,
Spitting
and I
all over the place?
spitting all over the place.
Yeah.
We actually drove to LA, and
Ooh.
I said to myself, because this was the first time I've ever done that, but I said, I'll drive to LA. You know, I love to drive, so I said it'll be easy. We literally drove about 3 minutes, and I was so out of it. I told my trainer at the time, I said, hey man, I think you're gonna have to take over. I don't know what's going on. I can't function properly.
Yeah.
So I went in the back seat. I actually thankfully fell asleep. And then when we got there, then they took another 2 hours for weigh-in. So you can imagine that. I was really dehydrated out of my life. And then I made weight, but I did not get that power back. It was horrible. I was getting hit by shots that I I've been doing this for a very long time, and I should have beat that guy, but you know,
Yeah.
I was not all there. I mean, I've never done that before. It was
So
hard.
is he somebody that you definitely want to avenge that loss to?
I do, but according to from people have been telling me, I think he's going up in weight. Now, that's another thing, that my last two fights have been at a heavier weight classes and there's a reason to each fight. Just because, for example, uh, I fought 140 pounds,
Okay.
way out of my weight.
Yeah.
I fight at 126. So I went up to 140, and I went to 140 because I knew who the guy was.
Yeah.
I seen his fights. I knew I was faster. I wasn't sure if I was stronger than him because I was his weight class, but his style was something that I knew I can beat, and I was up in every scorecard, and I can provide them. I got him from the California Athletic Commission
Uh-huh.
before the stoppage. What happened the last round, he caught me with a small uppercut, It didn't daze me or anything, but I felt it. So I started moving, and then he caught me in a body shot, and I backed up. But I wasn't hurt, but I was aware.
Right.
And I did a rookie mistake because of the first fight. I was just kind of bad memories. So when you're in there in front of a lot of people, and you're doing what you're doing, you don't hear the people.
Mm-hmm.
You're just worrying about making sure you get this fight. So I did a rookie mistake, and I took 3 steps back on my own will, and I
Mm.
took a knee so I can recover. I wouldn't say recover, so I can uh, just get more control of the situation, I
Right.
guess, because I didn't want to get stopped or anything, because I was countering, but it wasn't enough. So I took three steps back. I took a knee, and the referee waved it off. They didn't give
Oh
me an 8 count or nothing. I said, "Wow, I can't believe it." And I don't know. I mean, boxing is funny, So I mean, I don't, it was
wow.
funny.
I wanted to ask you because you mentioned about if you don't make weight, you have penalties that you will have to pay for. Um, let these cats know about all of that, man. Like how dedicated it is, but you take away from like you have kids, man. Like there may
It's
be
hard,
something. It's
especially
hard.
if you have, yeah, especially if you have. I actually talk about this a lot. Um, I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. She's almost 5. So, I'll take her to school with him, and she wants, sometimes they want pizza, McDonald's, whatever the case is. They're your kids, So
Yeah.
sometimes you get it for them, sometimes you don't. So it's sometimes, I mean, it's hard because when you have kids, and to eat healthy, and then them, you know, having that type of food in front of you, you have to be very, very disciplined. Because if you eat, like for example, let's say you eat pizza, like on 3 weeks before your fight,
Hmm.
you're like they're right there on weight, that's gonna really hurt you. And it might sound like a far time away, but I say it's gonna really hurt you, because when you get hungry, you're gonna think in your head, oh, I just ate pizza, I'll be good, I'll do it again. You know what I mean? You have to be very disciplined, because I mean, in amateurs, there's a lot. I mean, I haven't fought amateurs in years, but back in when I was fighting amateurs, I knew a lot of little tricks to, for example, you can be 5 pounds heavier than your actual weight. You don't have to be on weight if it's not a tournament or a national tournament or whatever the case is. If it's
Hmm.
just a club fight, you can work things out.
Right.
But in professionals, it's a whole different world. You have to be on the contracted weight that the promoter, the management, the manager, the promoter, you guys agreed on. If not, it's whatever the contract states, 15 or 20% goes to uh, the state and to the opposing fighter. So I mean, if it's $1,000, it might not be a lot, but if it's $8,000 you're getting paid, now you're losing a couple G's. So
This this, this is what I want to know as well. If you don't have representation, and I tell a lot of guys, if you don't have representation, man, you get thrown to the wolves. Meaning, if you don't have people in your corner, good people, a team, because a lot of these fighters who try to manage themselves right off the bat, you can let them know it don't work. It's
yeah,
hard.
it's hard, and it's very hard because you know um, there's a lot of these matchmakers that um, they they give them the title of a man. They can literally be have a whole different job on a Wednesday, and then on a Thursday morning, a promoter can call them, "Hey, you go to this gym, don't you? You know a couple gyms, right? Oh yeah, yeah. You want to help out my show, be a matchmaker? You just gave this person the matchmaker title. Now they're way
Mm,
over their head, and they're sitting there acting like it's their show, it's their promoter, and they literally, this is what they do a lot. I say this for all these cats coming up. They will say, "Oh, they don't want to fight you. They don't want to fight you, but I'll convince them to fight you." And then they go up to the other fighter and they tell him the exact same thing.
wow.
And then once they think that both of them are scared of each other, they have enough to for them to sign the contract.
Right.
And the only person making really that type of money is, the matchmaker's doing this because he wants to get paid. He don't
Right.
care about the fighters. And I've seen it happen a dozen times.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
crazy. Like, and I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't aware of this until I got into the professional boxing business, until becoming a professional fighter. I had no idea how all of this worked until I started seeing slowly and hearing and just picking up on things. And it's crazy out there. Like, you have to be very careful with matchmakers because they will tell you, you know they matchmakers lie to you a lot.
Okay.
Simple as that. I thought it was the promoters, but no, nobody told me anything about no matchmakers when I became a professional fighter.
that was a that was an on the job training, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this. I want to ask you this. We were talking about boxing, and I want to know who motivated you, or who were some of your favorite boxers growing up, and that's going to tie into this question I always ask people. But who are your favorite three boxers when it comes to offense, defense, and then ring IQ, being witty, being smart in the ring? So who's your favorite all-time fighter when it comes to offense?
Offense.
Yeah.
I would my offense. It just depends on times. I mean, Sergio Martinez is my all-time favorite. That is my fighter. That's my guy right there. And it's hard to really say if he was a very offensive fighter, but this guy was crazy. He fought with his hands down all day.
Oh yeah.
And very, I don't know, I guess I don't know how to call that style, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But Sergio Martinez he's up there, and I say that because a lot of people don't know this. Sergio Martinez didn't pick up boxing until he was in his like 20s.
No,
He
yeah,
was,
he started late.
yeah, he started very late. He didn't hit his prime until he was like in his 30s. He was,
Yeah.
I mean, he fought Antonio Margarito in Las Vegas, in the 2000s. He got stopped by him. Then he left to Spain, built his career back up.
Mm-hmm.
He came back to the U.S. and, he wrote his own story. He became a world champion.
Yo, he destroyed the monster that a lot of people wouldn't even fight. Floyd Mayweather didn't even want to fight this cat when he knocked him out. Do you remember
Paul Williams?
Paul Williams, man? Paul
Yeah,
Williams. And when he
he
knocked
knocked
Paul
out.
Williams out, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember watching that. That was in 2009. I was at an ex-girlfriend's house a long time ago. I was still in college, I remember. And I was watching the fight, and I was like, "Whoa, what happened?" But it was crazy, man. It was crazy. And you're right. Mayweather did not want to fight him. I remember that because there was talks about that fight, but he didn't want to fight him. And I always wonder to this date, how would Sergio Martinez do against today's middleweights? Canelo, Triple G. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's different styles nowadays.
It is, man. It is. Sergio was, whew.
He had like a 3-year run where 3-4 year run where he was
Oh
just
yeah. Yo, and
knocking.
he did not look like a fighter. I told my wife, I was like, no homo, man, but he looked like a GQ model, man.
Yeah, exactly. He looked like a model dude, and he don't look like a fighter. I've never met him. Hopefully, I do meet him. I know I don't personally know his brother, but I've spoken to his brother a couple of times over Facebook.
Okay.
He saw my last fight live. So, he said, I'm gonna tell Sergio about you. So, I mean, damn, I hope he does, because I mean, that would be awesome.
I hope so too, man. For real, man. That definitely be something. Hey,
Yeah.
who's your favorite fighter defensively?
Oh, Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd.
Oh yeah, easily.
What about Floyd? I always want to ask people, what about Floyd?
Okay, well, there's a now let me rephrase that, because these couple of years, Andre Ward has also came up on my rankings of defensive, because there's been a couple times where he's like this. He puts, and I'm talking about Andre Ward, where somebody will throw a jab or a right hand, and he'll counter it by just putting their right hand down, and then with the same hand, bah, countering them.
Yeah.
Andre Ward is very special too, but Andre Ward has only, you know, one weight class. You
Yeah.
know, I believe if I'm not wrong, correct me, but Floyd Mayweather came up all the way up from 130 to 154. He fought a lot of people, and Floyd Mayweather was a beast at 130, 135.
Oh yeah, when he was
People
pretty
don't
boy.
remember
Yeah.
that.
When he was
Yeah,
pretty boy, he was the man. Yeah.
but defensively, his defense has been there. It got better getting older in the game, and it's just his style of fighting. It's just like when you're in there with somebody, and I tell this to a lot of people, you know, when somebody has both of their hands up,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's better for them to have both of their hands up than to have one hand down, because you don't know when that a bottom hand's gonna react or not. Now it's not here, and so now instead of your eyes pretty much focusing on both hands that right in front of you, you have to keep one eye up there and one eye down here.
Right.
And Floyd is just like this with his shell moving, but and he's just waiting for you to do a mistake, and he'll capitalize on your mistakes. Just watching you, he's able to just figure you out during the fight. You know, I mean, he tore Canelo up round by round, and that's where I was already convinced, but that's where he really convinced me. He had Canelo in there like he'd never fought a fight. He tore Canelo piece by piece each round. It was crazy.
He did, and I thought after that fight, after watching that fight, watching the rest of Canelo's fights, Canelo took a page out of Floyd Mayweather book because he started moving like Floyd,
Exactly.
flipping, pulling. I was like, that's when he went to a whole nother level then.
Exactly. That's when. Yeah, you're right. That's when he moved. He added that to his style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, man. Okay. Ring generalship. When you talk about smartness in there, who's your favorite?
Ring generalship, smartness. That's a hard one. There's a lot of fighters.
Mm-hmm.
At least under my book. I mean, I don't know why I would say Tyson, just because once he's in there, just the minute the bell rings, he was already winning the fight. He would go forward, and the minute he would throw a punch, you don't even have to drop him, but it's pretty much like, you know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Tyson was a beast. You know, it's just like he's just moving, going forward. And I tell that to a lot of guys. You don't have to punch going forward. Move your head. As long as you have them backing up, they're getting tired because they don't know what you're doing. They're backing up for a reason. They're not throwing punches because they don't know what you're doing. So that mentally gets you exhausted sometimes. For some fighters, you know, just going forward, maybe throw a punch here and there. Giving that pressure. That's what it is. That pressure, and it just gets them off their game. And Tyson was really good. Just moving, going forward, hitting angles, and then throwing his bombs, just finishing them up.
Yeah. Oh man, a fighter with all three of those traits would be a problem.
Yeah.
He definitely would be a problem, man. Hey, brother, before we conclude, man, just want to ask you a couple more questions. But is there anyone that you are eyeing in your weight class? You know, particularly within the state, region, or even the country?
I've been offered a couple fights from a couple prospects coming out of here, out of Stockton, California, actually. And
really, okay,
yeah, you know, and I was supposed to fight this kid in July, and I think I was supposed to fight him twice, actually, July, and I forgot the other date, but it didn't happen. And
do I know any of them? Do I know them?
Oh yeah, you know him. You know him.
Can you give me a first letter of a last name?
I'll just say I don't care. You know, because it's out there. I was supposed to fight Gabriel Flores.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was supposed to fight him, and you know, I was supposed to. They offered me the fight. His own promotion called me directly. That was like late at night too. I thought it was a joke, to be honest with you,
Right.
because I was pretty, I had no issues with him. His dad is a good person. So was, Gabriel Jr.
Hmm.
And I had seen them that same day. So it was really weird to me when somebody called me from Top Rank at 11 p.m. at night and said, "Hi, is this Giovannie Gonzalez?" I said, "Yeah, who is this?" And then they told me, and I said, "Okay, how can I help you? Would you be interested in fighting Gabriel Flores Jr.?" And I said, "I mean, you know, send me the contract. It's boxing. I'm not gonna sit here and pick and choose."
Right. Right. Right.
Um, and they said, "Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow." Sorry,
No, huh?
they called me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Somebody was calling me.
Okay.
They called me the next day and they said that they want to fight me in California. So for me to wait until July. I said, okay, whatever. I actually went to the gym the next day like nothing ever happened. I didn't even care. Nobody said nothing to me. I was
Uh-huh.
whatever. So I was kind of like, man, is this like a joke? Are these guys trying to like just be funny or what's going on? Because nobody said anything.
Right.
And long story short, when it came to signing the contract, they changed their mind. I mean, for whatever reason it was, maybe they found a better opportunity with somebody else.
Hmm.
Hard feelings. It is what it is. But that's who I was offered to fight. Um, and it didn't happen. I mean, I just saw the kid last Saturday, and I said what's up to him. We hadn't talked because what happened is on somebody on Instagram, on a boxing page on Instagram, went ahead and tagged him and tagged me and a whole bunch of the people, kind of, talking trash, saying that, why does he want to fight some other guy, and why does he not want to fight me, and this and that. And I don't know how my name got brought up the whole mix.
Okay.
And then, it was just trash talking, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sit here and hold any fits or anything, it's boxing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it happens. I mean, if that fight happens, cool. If it doesn't, good luck to him in his career and every other fighter, because boxing is not easy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
respect any fighter, man, because when those gloves are small and they hurt. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
hurt. So that's pretty much the only fighter here in California that I would be willing to go up, because in order to fight him, I would have to go up back and weight, and I wasn't planning on going up and weight again. I'm going back to my weight class to 126,
Okay.
and I'm staying there. Now, in order to fight, that would be 132, 130 pounds. That's probably the only fight. That was probably the only fight I'd probably go up in weight class just to, you know, because
Okay.
we've only sparred once, and that was like 2 years ago, I believe. I mean,
Okay.
it was whatever.
Okay.
Um, Nothing major happened. It was kind of like a little chess match, I guess.
Got you. Got you.
But, you know,
But you ain't right, because right now you're in training camp, so you vision on whoever and whenever.
exactly. Yeah. Anybody at 126, give me a call. I mean, if it makes sense, let's go. Because like I said, you also, it's boxing, man. I've learned a lot. It's not just okay, let's do it. It's a lot of stuff behind a whole just to make a fight. And even after you sign a contract, the day of the weigh-ins, there's a lot of stuff going on still. Like they make it. Sometimes they make you rewrite the contract in front of you and make sure everything's correct. It's just a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on that
Yeah.
a normal fan is not aware of. They just, when they see TV, they just see two people fighting, but
Right.
they have no idea what happened leading up to make that fight.
The casual boxing fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. 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 Well, hey, brother. Hey, what is your message to the world? If you want to let everybody know about you, man, let them know.
Um, Look at my record. I've never gone to the scorecards. I've, I've knocked everybody out. The only time I've actually got hurt was my first fight, and that's because it was a horrible, horrible experience of dropping all that weight. The other two ones it was just boxing politics. If you look at the videos, you know what I'm talking about. Um, I don't, I don't cherry pick. Simple as that. I'm not gonna sit here and oh, I don't want to fight him. I don't want to fight him. just do it. Just let's make sure it makes sense. Simple as that. I mean, I'm
Right.
sitting here fighting. My three losses are against undefeated fighters who are on their prime and prospects. Golden Boy, Santa Cruz's fighter. Forgot the other guys in the game. He was actually I forgot the other promoter's name. But all those fighters, they're all top prospects, undefeated fighters. Um, you put somebody in front of me at 126, undefeated or not undefeated. With this, the way things are gonna go for my training camp, you know, I just gotta make sure I do my part. Obviously, it's not just going to the gym. Let me tell you that to those boxers. Just because you go to the gym every day doesn't mean you're gonna win. You still gotta wake up in the morning and run. You still gotta eat. You still gotta do push-ups. You gotta do things like that. Boxing is literally like a full-time job. You gotta do it on your own time. You're not gonna get good just by going to the gym every day for 2 hours or 1 hour or whatever the case is. It's at least 6 days a week, and let your body rest that one day. But you know, I'm here. We're here with my I'm there with my new team. We're ready to go. We'll be performing very very soon. My manager said he'll give me a call Wednesday night, see what we got. We has a meeting with a promotion out there in LA,
Okay.
and then we're ready to go. I mean, if anything pops up before that, before a fight that's there, then makes sense, then I'll take it. But I mean, you can't. I'm fighting even people that are 20-0 won't ever fight. They won't ever fight. I mean, the last guy I fought is coming out of Kazakhstan, Triple G's cousin. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They're not. He's a world. Look him up. I don't even know how to say his name. I can't even pronounce his name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even pronounce it. But simple. I'm fighting guys that nobody would even dare to even probably spar. Simple as that. I'll fight anybody. I'm not gonna sit here and cherry pick, because like I said, boxing is beautiful, but you also got to know that you got to train hard. And I'm not gonna be. I'm not. I mean, I've been doing boxing since I was about 12 years old, 13 years old. I'm 28 years old. I've been doing it for a very long time. I'm not gonna sit here and do it for another 10 years. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
You know,
Right, brother.
you need to know when to walk away from it. Not now. I might coach, I might train, but professionally or whatever the case is, not gonna do it forever. You can't do it forever. I mean, Floyd, if he wants to do it because he's gonna fight again, that's on him.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with a lot of athletes. They don't know when to say when, man. They don't know when to walk away.
Exactly. You need to know when to walk away. Exactly.
Giovanni, I appreciate it. Before we leave, your social media handles, if anybody want to get in contact with you.
Yes, Instagram. That's pretty much my main one right there. Is King Geo1. So it's 2 O's at the end and just a 1. King Geo1 on Instagram.
Everybody, you tuned in today with Stokeshouse Boxing Academy. You got to stay ready, so you ain't got to worry about getting ready with my man Giovannie Gonzalez. Hey, follow this brother, man. He's a good dude, man. If you're in the Stockton area, go to the gym, go check out him and his crew, man. I mean, he's a real good dude, man. You can walk up to him and talk to him, man. He ain't got his ass on his shoulders. I know they talk a lot about us fighters, man. Fighters are the most down-to-earth people that you can ever meet, man. If there was a fight that happened in the club, real talk, man, the fighter will more likely walk away from it than go towards it. Because why? They do that shit every day on the regular. That's the last thing they want to do is put their hands on somebody and then get into more trouble. So, hey, you tuned in live. Hey, my man, Gio, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. One love.